Oh, hello. This is Mound Maker, and today I'm back with another Nightreign exploration guide. Today's topic is the southeast castle at the Great Hollows. And normally, I talk a little bit before getting into the meat of the video, but we have a lot to get into today, so let's kill the small talk and get to the meeting. On your screen is a hand-drawn map of the southeast castle. I did my best to draw it to scale, even developed a measuring method. I wouldn't bet my life that it's to scale, but it's pretty close. Regardless, it should help you understand the castle better. I'm also including a PDF of the map in the description. I will be doing the same for the North Castle. There's two types of castles here, either Scarlet Rot or Holy. Regardless of which element it is, the layout does not change. Only the enemy types do. The Holy Castle has Divine Beast Warriors as the main boss on the north end, another Divine Beast Warrior as the main boss on the south end, Divine Bird Warriors as mini-bosses, and Horned Warrior Elites scattered throughout. The Scarlet Rot Castle has a Putrid Avatar as the main boss of the north end, and a couple of Clean Rot Knights as the boss on the south end. The main mini-boss of this area only appears in the south side water, and it's a standard hippopotamus. There's also a few mini-boss versions of a Clean Rot Knight, and lesser Clean Rot Knights are the Elites. Regardless of if it's Holy or Rot, there's also going to be Curse Blades, Banished Knights, or Omens, and they will be random and will appear in 3 different rooms, mostly in the under areas like the sewer. And that's where we're going to start. I'm not one to say do or don't do a route, but I am one to watch what others do. And of all the places people visit in the castle, the sewer route is by far the most used route. The main entrance for the sewers are in the south and the north. Although technically not part of the sewer area, the south side run starts here. Scale this wall, then go down this hallway. Clear the enemies, and claim a choice of 3 talismans from this chest. In this room is mini-boss number 1. Again, it can be Banished Knights, Omens, or Curse Blades. It's not a mix or match situation. Whatever is there is what it will be in the other 2 spots as well. Once you're finished there, exit through this room. There is a chest here. You can then exit this room by either going through the top way or the bottom door. Either way reaches the sewers. If you exit through the bottom, just turn left and the entrance will be right there. If you exit through the top, just drop down and the entrance will be right there. Once in the sewers, if you go straight, you'll end up close to the tower, but we're going left instead. Now, we find mini-boss room number 2. Once defeated, you'll probably need to clear some of the non-boss enemies in this room to claim both dormant power as well as these 3 chests. Once cleared, head out the doorway and you'll end up on a giant hallway that's on a slope. If you need to access the bonfire, the tower, or the way gate, you can jump out of any of the openings and be in the middle area. At the bottom, we'll be at mini-boss room number 3. Once we clear whoever that is, we can then head down to the back of the sewer and open these chests if you want to. If you're wondering why I'm underleveled and cursed in these clips, it's just to save time. Mapping out this area and getting all the clips while also breaking all the crystals first would add a ton more time to how long it takes me to do videos, which is honestly already a full-time job worth of time. Now we're going to do the run in reverse, which is the much more popular option. From the northern side of Grace, we're going to pass the merchant on the left, then enter the sewers here. And now, everything is just in reversed. I'd go left if I wanted to open those chests, but I'm going into the mini-boss area ahead instead. It's already been cleared. Then, up the slope, which is directly above the central area. Then, into the second mini-boss area, and from there, head right to get to the water boss area. Fight if you want. Most players do, but I'm bypassing for this clip to make sure I have time to get back to the third room, which is just up ahead. Once this boss is taken out, go to the hallway and open the talisman chest. From here, you can jump out this window and make your way to the south entrance site of Grace. Since I have time, I'm going to go ahead and go kill the rhino. In this video, I used the terms boss, mini-boss, and elite. If you're wondering what the difference is between all of them, in my book, a boss drops a dormant power and a site of grace. It also has a health bar that will be on the bottom of the screen. A mini-boss just drops a dormant power and typically does not have a health bar at the bottom of the screen, and an elite doesn't have either, but may drop a decent amount of runes. I think the reason that this is such a popular route is that you get 4 dormant powers, a talisman, a good chance of some decent loot from the chest, and more than 100,000 runes. And I can see a world where you can do that all in 3 to 4 minutes, give or take, which leaves time for you to hit the tower or hit the Waygate and go do a similar route through the North Castle. But I'm certainly not here just to show you the sewers and say, do them only. Instead, we're covering almost all that this coverer can cover. So, now that we've completed that run, let's move over to the upper part of the castle. And let's divide that castle up into 3 areas. The south part of the castle, which will include this area. The middle part, which will include this area. And the north part, which will include this area. We're going to start in the south area. The entrance in the south, right after the bridge, will be guarded by either lesser clean rot knights if the castle is scarlet rot, or a lone divine bird warrior if the castle is holy. From there, you can go straight to the main south side area, but I'm going left, out to this area here. This is an area with a mini-boss and some minions. It will either be clean rot knights if rot, or another divine bird warrior if holy. There's 3 chests in this area with the mini-boss, and 1 more in the corner over here. You can jump up on this top of the wall near the broken area and find a 5th chest. From here, you could go right and continue on that part of the top of the wall, but there's nothing really there until you get to the other side of the wall, which we'll be covering later. Instead, we're going to turn around and go up the other side of this broken wall. If it's rot, we'll find another lesser clean rot knight. If it's holy, just some normal enemies will be here. They guard a chest. If we go down these steps here, they lead to a room with a sorcerer's rack. Since we're on holy, there's a horned warrior guarding this room. If it were rot, there would be exploding soldiers here instead. You likely want to clear whatever is here before trying to dig through the rack. From there, we're going to head back up to a room with a second sorcerer's rack. Then, if we go to this door behind the rack, we'll either engage with a horned warrior or a clean rot knight. There's a bow rack there, and out at the end of the ledge is a body. You can also access this area from the area down below, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. Now I'm going to jump back up, heading back to the room with the rack. If we scale these crystals, we can gain access to the roof through this door. Sometimes up on this roof, a Deep of the Night boss can spawn here, even in non-Deep of the Night mode. If that happens, there will be a red invasion indicator on the map like shown here. I had this happen once in like 30 day run only runs, so it seems very rare, especially for day 1. Or I'm just unlucky and couldn't get that pattern. And no, I did not beat it at level 3 and cursed. Down here, there's a spirit stream jump where you can gain access to all the areas I just covered. I'm going to show you a few of those jumps, then jump into the next zone. Now, we've jumped into the next area I'm going to cover, which is the right side. First, this door here leads up to the same room where that sorcerer's rack was that I covered earlier. There's a horned warrior there now. There's a treasure chest to the left. Here are stairs that lead down to where the clean rot bosses are if you have rot, or the horned warriors if you have holy. There's a few chests off in the distance. Heading up these stairs will take you to a divine bird warrior mini-boss if holy, and just some normal minions if it's scarlet. There's 2 chests and a bow rack in the back. We can follow this wall to the broken area. I'm going to freeze it here to go over where we are right now. To the right is the tower, where you get a different boss at every level and a buff at the top. I'm not covering that today, but it's there. That bonfire there is the bonfire you'll typically spawn near if you die closer to the center of the castle than the edges. This is the underground area, specifically the slopes that have the crabs in them. Above that is the upper area that we'll be going to next. That roof there is a second area a Deep of a Night boss can spawn if you get that event. To the left is the merchant, who shares an area with the clean rot boss or the double horned warriors that we just covered. We're going to move on to the final area of coverage in the south side, and that's this final wall. At the end, there can be yet another horned warrior they're guarding a chest. In total, the upper part south side of the castle has 1 main boss in the water, 3 mini-bosses, and 6 elites if the castle is holy. If it's Scarlet Rot, there are 2 Clean Rot Knight bosses who are in the area that shares a space with the merchant above the water. There's a mini-boss Rhino in the water, there's 1 Clean Rot Knight mini-boss, and there's 4 Clean Rot elites. There's also 13 chests, 2 Sorcerer's Staff racks, and 1 bow rack, regardless of which type of castle you get. Now, we're going to move on to the middle or central area. This section of the guide is going to be short because there's not a lot going on here. This is kind of like the calm area surrounded by 2 storms. It can have a Clean Rot mini-boss flanked by a knight and a captain, or it can have those annoying birds who shoot rapid-fire discs at you. To the right of the entrance is a chest. The next noteworthy loot is the chest and bow rack on the left. Switching sides again, there's a body that can be looted here, and that's it. Down below, you'll find the central bonfire, and directly ahead is the tower. Down here is a spirit stream jump, and I'm going to use it to jump up on the wall. Then drop back down to the side that has the way gate there. That way gate leads to the northwest castle that we'll be covering in the next episode. Before we move on to the northern side of the castle, I'm going to do a few more jumps. This jump here goes to the sewers. You land close to the boss area that you would be exiting from if you were coming out of the sewer. The next jump is similar. It just leads to the second sewer entrance, but for this one, you have to scale the wall to reach it. And as you can see, up ahead, a boss. There are enemies and a few bodies that can be looted down in that area with the crabs. I'm not showing them though, because unless you just have a ton of expendable time, it's not worth going down there. And here is going to be the final jump that takes us up to the northern part of the castle. But we're not going to start the northern side from here. We're going to move to the northern site of Grace. And from the northern site of Grace, we're going to move towards the northern entrance. There is an elite Clean Rot here with another mini-boss Clean Rot up the stairs if Scarlet Rot is the element, or a Divine Bird Warrior mini-boss with only minions and birds if it's holy. Moving up the stairs and trying not to die, the northern boss is there. That boss will be either a putrid avatar or Divine Beast Warrior. Turn right and jump up on this ledge. There's just normal enemies up here, 2 chests, and these dumb machine gun birds. These birds have killed me more than any other enemy during this attempt to just run through everything, and I kinda hate them for that. The good news is, them killing me allows me to show you the spring jump once again. I'm going to take the jump directly to the north. We're going to revisit this room in a moment, but for now, I'm heading to the second Deep of the Night boss area. There's no boss there because I don't have the event. But I can show an overview of this area from this roof. Right now, I'm overlooking the area I just died at. I'm going to fast forward slightly because I spent an uncomfortable amount of time watching those Inquisitors walk around. So here, I'm looking at the entrance to the broken bridge. I'm not heading down it because all that's down there is a lootable body at the end. Kind of like the one at the end of the broken bridge if you get the magic or golem forts in the base map. Down here, we have a horned warrior, who you can cheese if you have a ranged character or weapon. He's guarding 2 chests and a bow rack. Let me show you how to get down there without being up here. Go down here and there's a wraparound corridor. He's trying to meet me halfway, but I'm not too into that idea. But you see him. Him and his chest and racks are there. This is like a side exit or entrance. As you can see, not really much worth going down here for, just some breakables. Heading back to the main boss area, there's 3 chests to my left. And now I'm heading back to the OG entrance. Hop over this break in the wall and you'll be on a ledge where a chest is. Now that we got that, let's reset at the north side of Grace. That way, I can show you the same way to enter the castle, but from a different angle. Just scale this wall, and hope you don't get murdered by discs. I have to enunciate really hard not to say another word. There is the same chest I just picked up. Going this way to the right will be the same 3 chests I already pointed out. And we're back in this room that we saw earlier, but I did not point out the Sorcerer's Rack, so there it is. Now, I'm going to drop down here to show you 2 more things before closing this all out. Moving forward a little bit, we are right by the sewer's entrance and merchant. There's a small door going into the bottom of the castle. These rooms don't lead to anywhere else into the castle, so this isn't a shortcut. All it leads to is this chest. Then, out of the exit, you'll find a talisman ball on the right side of that structure. And that's it. That's the north side of the castle. The north side features 1 mini-boss, 1 main boss, and 1 elite. And it doesn't matter if it's rotted up or holy. And there's 1 sorcerer's rack, 1 bow stand, and 10 chests as well. So, what can we gather from this? Well, the south side is by far the better area as far as, well, everything. More enemies who drop dormant powers. Better overall density. More chests. And more racks. Therefore, going north to south through the sewer makes the most sense if you're going to stick around after clearing that sewer. That explains why more people go north to south when doing the sewer route. Before we close this out, I want to share 1 test that I did. I did 3 runs from the south bonfire to the north bonfire. I just wanted to see what is the fastest route to get through the castle. This information isn't worth a ton, but it was something I did because I was interested in it. I took these 3 routes here. 1 on the left side cliff, 1 directly through the middle, and 1 around the right side utilizing the 2 spirit jumps. What I found was there's no real difference between any of the runs, except for one. Each takes about 1 minute and 5 seconds. The only exception is going from the south bonfire to the north bonfire using the left side edge. That one takes about 55 seconds, and it's the one on your screen. And I think that covers about everything. I plan on doing the North Castle next week. Then, might update my top 50 enemies video to include bosses from the DLC, since the first one was only for the base game. I may expand it to 100, or go real crazy and just rank every boss. Although runes to effective HP will still be a big factor, I'm working on formulas that can effectively incorporate other aspects as well. If I end up using them or not, time will tell. But what will never tell is the walls of this castle. But if they could tell, I'm sure they would never shut up. And that's it. I'm Mountmaker. No, I'm not AI, but I am someone telling you that until next time, take care.